who is a product designer according to you?
I do consider myself as a designer. With designer, I mean we are solution designers.
So how did you gather user insights for your design process?
Or you can go to, if it's an application, you can go to Play Store and look for that what they are asking for in the feedback forms.
So how did you ensure inclusivity and accessibility in your design works?
Just by spending a little bit of time, by not being too much inclusive as well. Because even if I talk about small accessibility stuff, which is color blindedness, if you do not capture that as well, still they will be able to cover large number of audience, right?
How do you balance between design, business goals as well as technical constraints as a product designer?
We are trying to what business needs, what user needs, okay, merge it.
How did you approach for the feedback for non-designers like engineers and managers on your design work?
We show it in a common room to everyone that this was the problem we were solving and this we think is the best solution. They might tell you their opinions.
So you are working as a product designer in the Microsoft from past few years. What is the biggest challenge you have faced as a product designer?
Many organizations or in many clients itself in personal works, I have faced this as a challenge that because it is not your product, somebody else will take that call. Okay, you like this, but we'll have to go with that.
So how do you see AI in the coming future in design?
Which means machine is not doing something new. Machine is doing what you were doing. So again, I will say that machine will not be able to invent certain things. It will give you back time to do what you are doing, to do it better and maybe create another version of it.
How much salary one can expect as a fresher in either product design or UI UX design? So as you saw in the title and thumbnail, so for this podcast, I brought to you a guest who is a product designer. So the guest for today's podcast is Chirag Sharma, who is working as a product designer at Microsoft. So in this podcast, we will get to know his complete journey. So if you are someone who recently started learning product design, or if you are someone who want to become a product designer, make sure you watch this entire podcast. You will get a lot of new information through this podcast. So without any further ado, let's get started. So, hi Chirag bro, welcome to the podcast.
Hi Joshua, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great bro. First of all, I would like to thank you so much for accepting my invitation and giving you some of your valuable time. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Yeah, okay bro. So Chirag bro, we will start this podcast with your introduction. So can you tell a bit about your background?
So I am product designer. I came in designing, I think at early age itself. I was in 11th standard. I got to know about Mac Animation Institute. I went there. Then I came across Framebox, which was another brother of these kind of institutes. And I liked it there because they were friendly. Their institute's director was very friendly and I made some good friends. And whenever he used to have any conferences or workshops, he used to call me that, okay, there is a conference, there is a workshop happening. If you are interested, just join us there. And maybe they were seeing me as a potential candidate or potential student. And as soon as I gave my 12th standard exams, in a week itself, I got bored and I went there. I want to join right now itself. Just convert this in a diploma program. I was not aware that there are NIDs and IITs as well providing designing. So there my design journey started officially in bachelor's in design. And after that, I did 2 jobs, and after that I thought that okay, now I have learned from private institute all the software skills and all. I felt there is a vocabulary was missing for UX specifically, as I started as graphic designer and then moved to UI UX, and then specifically I was looking into user experience area. So I thought, okay, why not to do masters again in design, UX design, which I was already working in. Then I was already aware of that NIDs, MITs and many institutes are there. So there I have given design entrance exam for MIT Pune, and I did my masters from there. And now here I am.
So bro, since you are a product designer, now let us more focus on product design itself. So bro, let us start with a very basic question. Who is a product designer according to you?
According to me, these product designing, UX design, graphic design, these all are designations to me. I do consider myself as a designer. And design, with designer I mean we are solution designers looking for improvising the life of everyone. I still call myself UX designer as well, users experience designer. And with users experience designer I am taking care about the business needs as well. But for me, product designer is also a person who creates lovable products for users. And that product, I'm not limiting it to digital or physical products, any product, making it lovable and usable, maybe easy, effective, making the lives easier for the person who are using the products, making their lives more enjoyable, or making the experience throughout using the product for whatever purpose they are using it, making it more enjoyable, and with that solving the business need as well.
Bro, like you have been in the UI UX design from a very long time. So now you are working as a product designer. Can you please walk us through your typical design process as a product designer, like from ideation to final implementation?
Yeah, sure. So the simplest process which I have thought of, not thought of, whatever I have learned, there are too many different processes being used in industry, like they are calling it double diamond model or anything else. But I use double diamond majorly because that makes vocabulary or the terminology for me very easily. It's a 4D model, and with 4Ds, first is discovery phase. Some people call it requirement gathering. So discovery is in itself is a requirement gathering phase in which you gather the requirement, what needs to be built, why it needs to be built, what will be its uses. And requirement gathering, you can use any sort of tools, questionnaire, user study, and anything. So, and then the second D, which is defining whatever information which you have gathered, define it really well in terms of personas, or in terms of users journeys, expected journeys, the problems areas, or everything. Because if a thing is defined properly, then only you will be able to make iteration towards it or solve it. So then the third phase about it is designing it, in which again you can use so many tools, paper mocks and whatnot, maybe user journeys, you can create another solution or user journeys and all. And then you jump to the last D, which is the deliver part of it. Okay, now everything is done, how will you pack it and produce it in front of the customer? So this 4D, I use it. I don't use any other which is requirement gathering and then this, that, then that. I just call it 4D for a easier understanding and or for easy recall value.
So bro, for a UI UX designer or for a product designer, user research plays a major role. So how did you gather user insights for your design process?
So as I was telling in the discovery phase itself, that there are many tools you can use. You can use questionnaires. You can send the surveys to gather more quantitative, more quantity of users input. You can do that. Or you can done personal interviews as well, or group studies as well, to get more quality or deep in-depth studies. You can do that. To gather users information, there are many different sources as well. Suppose if it depends on the context. Suppose if you are designing something totally new, you will do these what I said, that the surveys, and to understand your viewpoint or hypothesis about as well, because you will definitely have a hypothesis about your product, that okay, when your product will be live, what problem it will be solving. So when you are doing the surveys, you will understand, or you will match that hypothesis, prove that correct or incorrect, and whatnot. And if the product is already live, then maybe your process will be different of gathering the requirement, where one can be the direct user feedback or user complaints or customer from the customer service team itself. Or you can go to, if it's an application, you can go to Play Store and look for that what they are asking for in the feedback forms. You can look at the different forums where users do talk about their maybe happy experiences or bad experiences. Mostly they do talk about the bad experiences only. There you can work on. So these are the ways from which you can gather the informations. You can maybe suppose if it's a new product, you can just go to the field and do the field study just by observing the person for whom you are designing the application or website or any product as well. You can just do the observation, do not ask anyone anything. So that's also requirement gathering.
So bro, in the introduction of product design question, you have said that your product should be usable by all different kinds of people. So while you are designing a design or a product, So like how did you ensure inclusivity and accessibility in your design works?
I'll answer it differently because all the products, even if anyone says that all the products are usable for everyone, for inclusivity needs extra efforts as well. Like you can't expect every product to be usable by everyone because some startups are designing, yes, from the size of company which I'm working in currently, yes, the plays accessibility, inclusivity plays a larger role because they can invest in it, right? Like if a person business cannot even invest in it, they will first of the thing, why will anybody run a business? They will run to earn the profits is the first thing. Vision, I don't think so vision is the first thing for any smaller businesses. Larger businesses it can change. So as soon as I can get to the market, and as soon as to get to the market, if you do a pie chart, if you create a pie chart, how many people need is inclusive. Maybe let's say let's just take a ref number, 70% of population you can work for just by spending a little bit of time, by not being too much inclusive as well. Because even if I talk about small accessibility stuff, which is color blindedness, if you do not capture that as well, still they will be able to cover large number of audience, right? So they can earn money to be inclusive. Yes, the very first step which we can do is following the WCAG guidelines, which is accessibility guidelines by for web. At least bare minimum, do try to follow that, because that will help those 70% as well and remaining 30% as well. Then try that if you have that budget or not, giving that at least adding the alt text, so that if any person is visually impaired or something, they can use that alt text. If they cannot read the image, whatever is that information in that image, so at least they can, if when they are using the speech facility in their mobile or their laptops or desktops, at least they are able to understand what is on the page. So that's the second step with web, and actually that's also part of WCAG guidelines. Then you can use the colors carefully for color blind people. There are other things that also you will find in WCAG guidelines. Then there is another sort of inclusivity, which is,
so bro, as you said, like you have worked at a startup. So basically what happens in startup, like we have like a few limited resources. I hope we have a like a tight deadlines as well. So like how did you like prioritize features or design elements when you are working in a product which have like limited resources or tight deadlines?
at least that was not in my case, but yes, in the startup it was different, but in service company there were tight deadlines and everything. So whenever these kind of things happen, we do have to at least make bit time for research, and obviously it will be a compromised one. It will not be too much in-depth research, but at least check the competes what they are doing. That's the first thing. When you are doing the research, you can say that okay, if they are making a mistake, we should not make it. How will you make sure about that? Maybe read 5 or 6 their Play Store reviews or their website reviews or their product reviews, something like that. And after that, while designing it, maybe if you are not able to make n number of different solutions, make it 2 or 3, and don't go directly on screens. Make some paper prototypes, and at least buying in more time from your stakeholder is also something which you can do. So you can say that okay, this is something which I can create directly in 1 day or 2. If you give me more time, I will be more thorough in my design. I will be able to say that this is the much better one, this is following or otherwise, again, as I said, that you can follow the competes, whatever have already set the standard. Like suppose if you have 1 day to design a e-commerce website, what the best thing you can do? You can do the best thing is by reading the user journey of Amazon, Mintras and whatnot, whatever is there similar, you can create the benchmarks for that. And then for design standards as well, whatever UI, what kind of UI they are using, you can use the similar block structure. You can use the similar sitemaps, right? So that is the fastest way of achieving it, and by not going wrong. Do not copy something on I have seen many designers do, what they do is to make something very much creative. They do look at awards or multiple kind of different websites, which are maybe, if you will say, the see the releases of a product, which is like maybe something for Apple, they are releasing something. That websites are totally different because that is for one time use. Somebody will go there and scroll it and see the features and go. But something which is regular day-to-day work, Amazons and all, do not follow something which is too unique. If you have one day only to design it, do something which is done and tested, right? Which is like Amazon everybody is using, so you are aware that okay, it is user friendly, that's why they are using it. Or at least if it is not user friendly, it is user familiar, right? If you create the familiarity, you will not be able to go wrong. Copy something which you know that is working good. So that is something, when you have limited amount of time, copy the best of bests.
So bro, like as a product designer, like we have to mainly focus on like design, business goals as well as technical constraints. Like how do you balance between design, business goals as well as technical constraints as a product designer?
First of all, for business goals, I try not to balance it, but make it a handshake. Like not a like in order to balance it, okay, business wants this. Because balance, I look or I think of balance in some kind that okay, business wants 100, I will give them 80. User want 100, I will give him 60. Engineer has something 100 and I will give 60, and everybody will be happy. I don't try to do that. First of thing is business goals, and which majorly is to increase the business and make the users happy. Also is a user's goal itself, because the many companies itself says that the best person to learn from is your saddest customer. So obviously they are looking for the customer's happiness, right? So if that is the thing, we look for the business goals. Business wants to satisfy users, then we talk to users, and whatever best we can create, we do create that. So that's not balance. We are trying to what business needs, what user needs, okay, merge it. What best we can do. And if the current point in time user, like suppose user is asking for hundreds of things, whatever, as a business person, whatever makes more sense to them, whatever feature will be more helpful to them and also does the business job, that is one balance or handshake what we can do, because everything cannot be delivered in a single day. Obviously if you ask somebody, they will ask hundreds of lists. You have to smartly understand, being a designer, that what is most important to them. And then again, when you are talking to the engineers, the same technical constraint does come up. You have to smartly understand and evaluate that what we can, what we are good without as well, and what are the short things we need to give to the users in order to build the trust, or in order to have that similar or above standards than whatever industry competes are also giving.
So bro, as a product designer, like if you are working in a product, you have to collaborate with other teams like engineers, managers and other teams as well. Like how do you collaborate with engineers and managers so that you can bring a design to life?
Managers, we have to kind of, one will be the design manager directly, and one will be the product managers who will be giving us the business part of it, that okay, this is the business requirement, this is we think will get the business numbers, and this is something user is also asking, so this is a good match. They recognize that match, that okay, this helps business as well, this helps users as well. And that is the first connect. I mean, they do not the initial connectors are the business and design, that okay, this is a opportunity which we have looked at, so what are your thoughts on it? We do talk, and if that sounds like a good, like we do come on a common page, that okay, this sounds like a good thing, or maybe there are, okay, you can think it this way as well, and then think of that, okay, what can be the possible solution. Then we do go to the engineers with the possible probable first draft solutions, that okay, this is what we are thinking of, can you give us a timelines of it? Suppose if the timelines they ask are too much when we want to deliver the product to users, then what do we do is we start looking at it, the most value of it, which I was telling you initially, that we have to make the compromises there, and we have to see that okay, if not 100% of the solution we have to give in one go, can we iterate the solution based on the tech limitations, so that 100% we will be able to give, but based on maybe bit design changes or bit differently how we can do it. And if not, what is the minimal solution? We call it MVPs or MLPs, minimal viable product or minimal lovable product, which is doing a similar kind of job, which is not 100% but at least 70-80%, or doing the whatever user is asking, and slowly we will build on top of that.
So bro, let us assume you are designing a product and the product is completed, and now you have to take feedback from other fellow designers and non-designers as well. So now let us talk about non-designers. Like, how did you approach for the feedback for non-designers like engineers and managers on your design work?
Majorly, we create a few mocks if they are static screens. If it is a complete flow, we create some prototypes. We show it in a common room to everyone that this was the problem we were solving and this we think is the best solution. They might tell you their opinions, and this is this is their feedback or opinion on your solution, and everybody will have have their point of view. Understand that somebody might be making sense and somebody will be just personal opinions. So as I initially said, it's rationality versus the personal biases. So you have to see what makes sense, what is rational, and what were the reasons behind that. And if there are some design compromises also at the time of designing based on the limitations, do accept that. And if you are able, because everybody is in the room wants to make the product better, if there are genuine reasons or genuine suggestions which can make product better, just go back to the drawing board and try to implement those changes or those suggestions to see that how you can improvise the product even better. Or otherwise, if there are different opinions itself, just be vocal about it, why certain things are certain way.
So bro, now let us talk about the tools which you are using for your design works. So bro, like in your day-to-day life, like what design tools you use the most and why?
Mostly I use Photoshop, Illustrator, and Figma. And Figma is the major UX tool I use. The reason behind using Figma is that changes based on company to company. Here in Microsoft we are using Figma, so I'm using Figma. Last organization I was using XD, last to last I was using Sketch, so that keeps on changing. The basic tools, basic structure is anyway same, so we can work on any tools. Then comes to Photoshop and Illustrator. Illustrator I use sometime for some SVGs, some vector designs, icons, illustrations if I have to do. And Photoshop I do use regularly for some, because anyway I need any raster and vector tools. So for any raster, image editing, and any trimming of images, masking, and so on, so I am familiar with those softwares and I'm using them from 10 years. So I just don't leave those softwares because I think to improve my productivity.
Bro, like you are in the design field for a very long time, and as you said, design is an evolving field. Like, how do you stay updated with the latest trends or designs or techniques?
One is the fellow designer for sure. Whenever you are talking with fellow designers, you are knowing something new, and that is based on, like, suppose if I am a UI designer, taking an example, if I'm interested in UI, I'll just go to maybe Behance or Dribble and just being updated about it. If I'm researcher, I'm looking at different research. If I'm user experience designer, same, I'm using Behance or different resources, googling few of the stuff. And interested in AI, I'm looking for AI resources. So if many of the people are coming, all their interests are being captured. If somebody is talking about it, getting the information. So the first end of information is when there is a lot of people, everybody is taking their interest areas, and we are being aware about certain things. So just I acquire all the knowledge from the nearby people, and some my interest area is anyway I will be googling it. But if from someone I got to know about, okay, ChatGPT is just coming, it's a new thing and I'm interested. Okay, how why it is interested? ChatGPT is creating so many good things for me, making my life easier. So that's how, like, I dive deep into it. I first acquired the knowledge from different sources, and whatever I liked more, I just dive deep into it.
So, bro, while you are designing any product, is there any specific frameworks or any specific design systems you will follow while working on your designs?
When I was working previously, I was majorly using material design, which was Google's design system. And for Apple, I was using their design system for any Apple related products. And now, as I'm working on as a product designer, we do have our product system for our different products. So whatever products I'm working in, we do have if I have to say that SAP Lab have their own design systems. Microsoft also have its Fluent design system, right? Right now I'm working here, so surely I will use the Fluent UI, and that works because my products are already built in it. So I'm using those systems. But wherever you are working in, even in a smaller organization or in a service company or in a product studio as well, design system is getting built slowly. You are taking references from the existing design systems, which is suppose material design itself, and you have to create a mobile application. Maybe you will polish the material design as per your standards, and slowly you will stop using material design, and whatever the design system you have created for your application, if you have to work longer because you are not that from that product company, but in a service company, but still if you are working longer for 1 year or so, mostly you will be using your set of design system, your components, your buttons, your text, your icons, and whatnot. You will stop taking references from material design, and slowly your design system will get created. And after that, I believe till the time that company will be working on, to whom you will hand over the resources, they will use your delivered thing as their design system if they have to make any iterations, if they have to create their in-house design team.
So, bro, you have been in the design industry for a very long time. So I hope you have gone through few challenges. So you are working as a product designer in the Microsoft from past few years. What is the biggest challenge you have faced as a product designer, and how did you overcome it?
I believe main challenge about being designer will be to deal with the compromises which you have to create when you are creating a North Star vision of a product and creating a design. When you have to reduce the deliverables to cut it short, like when creating the design phases, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, that's a challenging thing to maybe make everybody come on same page. If you are not comfortable in certain cuts, if you think that without this the product is not well enough, and even more than that, sometimes it's a hierarchy challenge. Like suppose if you think, and if as a designer you believe in certain things, as I said, that there should be certain boundaries, that okay, if you don't have a rational reason as a non-designer and still you want certain things to be certain way, then it should be, if you don't have any rational reason, the ownership should be designers. But in many organizations or in many clients itself in personal works, I faced this as a challenge that because it is not your product, somebody else will take that call. Okay, you like this, but we'll have to go with that. That's kind of hierarchy. If they are senior to you, you have to work in that way. So these discussions usually I didn't like in my past.
Now let us talk about the future trends of design. So as you said in the beginning of this podcast, we will talk about AI in the coming of this podcast. So now let us talk about that AI only. So bro, this day AI is doing so many things. If we just give a prompt, it was generating an image, it was generating a video, and also it was generating a website for us. So how do you see AI in the coming future in design?
Like many people are worried that okay, it will take away the creative job as well. And will designers be required also or not? Will developers be required or not? And I am kind of positive about it, that it will enhance our work. And let's break it down. As I said, it's a similar line, similar work. User experience is also involved in it. If we look at the existence of user's experience, can you let me know when the user experience came? maybe I'm not remembering the years exactly, but he come up with this term as user experience design, and first user experience engineering job I think he has taken himself. But before that, was there no user experience or human experience? What I'll say is, from the existence of human being, user experience is there, because when we are living, every moment we are living, we are creating certain experiences. That experience can be good, that experience can be bad. So at least experience of user is already there. Now, from the starting of age, user's experience is there. It will stay there for as long as the human race is there. For human experience will stay. Now let's see the changes what have came. Now you get less time. How will you design? Which means research time is not there now. Now the design's value is proven, but the research time is not there. Now using AI, you can get that time back. You can understand the user's behavior, because as a designer you have to be good in business. As a designer you have to be good in design. As a designer you have to be good with psychology. As a designer you have to be a good philosopher as well. As a designer you have to be intellectual as well. You should understand the user's psychology as well. So now combining all those things, you can be jack of all trades, but you cannot be master of all trades. Coming AI into picture, you can still say that now I can be master of all as well. If not master, I can be 50, 60, 70, 80 of all of it. Because right now, what is the process? As a designer, you work. If you are getting a new project, suppose in agri field, there will be a department expert as well, right? Domain expert for that agri field. If you are working in hotel industry, there will be domain expert. Now the domain expert is handy and always available to you. That domain expert is AI. So you can be certain, sure about, or fast about your process. So now whatever time limitations we had, it will help us. Now let's come to what AI is able to design. This artificial intelligence is from, again, it is also like when we are automating the work, machinery is designed, they were designed for specific tasks. And anything which is getting better, they are designed for something specific, and that specific they are taking the lessons from the human itself. Like suppose if I was cutting a log again and again, suppose I'm cutting a vegetable like this. If I'm cutting this vegetable and I know that throughout the day 24 hours I have to cut like this, I will design a machinery which will automatically cut the things, and a conveyor belt which will pass on that vegetable, right? So this is how I'm doing it. So if I'm doing like that, it means I have recognized the human action, and I have thought of how I can remove that human action by creating this machine. So which was you have automated it, which means machine is not doing something new. Machine is doing what you were doing. So again, I will say that machine will not be able to invent certain things. It will give you back time to do what you are doing, to do it better, and maybe create the another version of it.
So bro, as a designer, like we have to keep on learning. So like there will be new trends like each and every year. Like what are the resources you will use for learning new things?
My first source is always Google. Google takes me to other places. My first source is always Google. I Google it whatever thing I want to learn more about, and then I follow the best links which I feel are best. I drop some links if I don't like it, go to a new link. But Google is my first go-to place.
So bro, like what is the best piece of advice you want to give to the someone like who just recently started learning UI UX design or a product design?
I think the best piece of advice is, I have seen like in society itself, like whatever works best, whatever field is best. Suppose previously there was CA, then engineering, they look at it and they look at the successful person and they are like, how we can reach there, how we can do that. Oh, this is a good line, let's do this. So first of all, you have to be away from that. And similar and in design as well, I have find people who are just pinging me in LinkedIn. Hey, I have seen you are working in Microsoft, so how I can land up job there. So their question itself is wrong. Like they are, as I said, that they are looking at the CA who is working in top, they are looking at engineers, they are looking at doctor. They have not done their effort, but they are looking at them and they are looking at where they are working in. They are not looking at the person who is working in startup, who is working here, who is working or there. So I'll just take an example here, like there are institutes which help you prepare for your IITs, for AIEEEs. There are institutes which helps you in get into design college as well, MITs, NITs, IITs. You tell them that, okay, I want to join NIT, give me the recipe of it. It doesn't happen that way. If you prepare for NIT, you will get into MITs or any other institute as well. So what is the base of it? The base is you are going to that particular institute in order to learn the specific areas or what all thing which you can learn in order to enter any design school, not a particular design school, but any design school. So it's always a generic approach and not a specific approach. It doesn't works that way. If you want to go in engineering to become a IT engineer, yes, there are n number of colleges. If you want to be an engineer specifically in Maruti Suzuki, life doesn't happens that way, right? So there are probabilities and possibilities, and you have to go with generic path.
So bro, like you are saying in this question only, you are saying like you have to be the good designer, not a designer for the specific company. So what are the skills one should have to develop in order to become a good designer?
First, be a good observer of recognizing a problems or recognizing a scope of improvement. And maybe when you will be a good observer, you can understand the different problems. You will understand different tools as well. Anyway, in your design schools itself, that how you can in discovery stages, what all tools you can use to in order to get the detail or to recognize that particular problem. So be a good observer. Then observer doesn't only helps you in this problem discovery, it helps you in solutioning as well. Because if you are a good observer, you might think of, this worked in cricket, this will work for tennis as well. Maybe this might work for tennis. So that's different parallels you try to draw, because nothing is unique. I'll just ask you that, okay, close your eyes and think of a character which you have not seen anywhere. You will come up with, there is a character which is having 5 teeth, but not in mouth, but in ears, and who walks with heads down and legs on top, and he only has 5 legs but no hand. So these all things are actually the combination of all the things which you have seen in past. You have seen hands, you have seen legs, you have seen eyes, you have seen ears, you have seen teeth, and you are just combining all of that. So that you are not creating anything new, just you are fragmenting a thing which is existing and you are trying to rejoin that. And that's how you design. And other than that, you have to be empathetic. If you can empathize with, and that also will help you in recognizing the problem well or solving the correct problem. So I think these 2 traits are good enough for starting as a good designer. Then for solutioning, you will have to learn the tools whatever are available in the industry, and as I said, the tools keeps on changing every now and then.
So bro, how much salary one can expect as a fresher in either product design or UI UX design?
I think from my experience, starting will be ranging from 6 to 8 will be the averages. Obviously there will be outliers as well. Some of might get based on their skill set might get lower as well, but I think average 6 to 8 one can expect, and there can be more for freshers 10, 12, 14, 15 as well, and it can be as low as 5, 4 as well. But the average, the middle ground, you will find this 6 to 8 from directly out from colleges.
Okay. So bro, this is the final question for this podcast, like how someone can contact you.
I think LinkedIn only, but the thing is I was just silent for a second just by giving it a thought. Do I reply to all the LinkedIn? Because I do try, like whenever I get time, I do reply to the LinkedIn messages, but majority of the times it happens that, okay, in a week I'm getting suppose hundreds of messages. Then by weekend, if I'm getting time, I'm looking at it one by one. Some of the persons are asking for referrals, but as I have not got time in weekday, so that depends on my time availability. Sometimes the time itself is not there in the commutation and the regular work, so then I don't get mental peace for me itself. But yes, best way is LinkedIn. If I get if I look at it in a week or so, I do reply. If I look at it in a month, sometimes I feel now now replying itself doesn't make sense, so I do not reply. And sometimes when I feel okay, it was a generic message, I do reply in month as well.
So, bro, Chirag, bro, you have given so much information to our audience, who just want to become a product designer. So, once again, thank you so much for giving some of your valuable time and sharing some of your amazing information and some of your amazing experience of yours. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you. Same here.